We will continue with our media availabilities here in advance of Sunday's Auto Club 400 at Auto Club Speedway. We are now joined by the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series points leader, Kyle Larson, driver of the number 42 Target Chevrolet for Chip Ganassi Racing. Kyle, you've also finished second in the three most recent Monster Energy Series races, and ran the fastest time in practice today, so it looks like you're going to try to end that streak here by visiting Victory Lane when you return to California. And you've also had some success here winning the NASCAR Xfinity Series race back in 2014 for your first win in that series. So why don't you just talk about the strong start to 2017 and coming home to California for this weekend's race?
Yeah, it's definitely been a good start to the year. We've had a shot to win every race this season, so it's been really happy about that. California Speedway. I'm from California, so it's kind of like my home race. it's a long ways from Sacramento, but still feels somewhat like home. Getting to see lots of friends and stuff out here, so it would be nice to get a win here. In the second place streak I have going, but it's been really cool to be contending like we have been. Hopefully we can continue to have speed in our race cars. I've been really happy with everybody at our Target Chip Ganassi Racing shop, Credit One Bank, everybody that puts all their time and effort into letting Jamie and myself have some fun and go fast and challenge for wins. So been extremely happy and would like to be winning right now, but being the point leader is awesome.
All right, we will open it up to questions for Kyle. Please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic. We'll start here with Holly and then go over here to the middle.
Holly K, NASCAR.com. Hi, Kyle. I remember your rookie season and you winning the Xfinity race and then coming so close in this race. Now to be points leader, just kind of, what is that like for you? I mean, it's very early in the season and you're already there. You've gotten.
Yeah, it's neat to be leading the points this early in the year. I've never been. I know I've won a handful of championships throughout my racing, but I've never been one to be a points racer or be as consistent as I've been. And going into this year, I made it a goal of mine to be more consistent this year and make less mistakes. And it's only been 4 races, but we've been off to a good start on limiting our mistakes and running up front, and that's putting help put ourselves in position to win each race this season. So like I said, just been really proud of everybody on our race team, and happy with kind of how I've been performing. Been trying to work a little bit harder this year, and it seems to be all paying off.
I think Holly had a follow-up.
And as a follow-up to that, even with your runner-up finishes or something coming so close as you did at the Daytona 500, you've really had, really exhibited just a good, for lack of a word, personality about it. You've handled it all so well coming that close. How do you do that as opposed to, being mad and kicking and, whatever? How are you handling it so well?
Well, I think it's easy to handle it in the Cup Series because it's so extremely tough to run up front. So to be consistently up front is something that's hard to do, or it's been hard for us and our race team. So we've never had this speed before. So it's, at least since I've been in the Cup Series. So it's something that's a little bit new and different to me, and makes it a whole lot of fun to come to the racetrack. So I don't know, seconds are not wins, but they're not thirds either. So it's not too bad.
I'll come here to the middle and then go to Lee.
Kathy Brown, pitting outside the box. Every year you have seemed to improve, and Jamie has always been a contender every single year. What do you think has finally clicked with the two of you this year, because you're just doing that much better?
I think our race cars are just, like I said, way better than they've been in a long time. So I don't think, I think Jamie and I maybe have added a little bit to it, but I feel like our race cars are just the main reason why we're running a lot better this season. So everybody's so good in this series that a lot comes down to how well your race cars are and how well your race team performs, and we've kind of got it all going on right now. So it's pretty cool to show up to the racetrack. I know Jamie and I are both having a blast right now.
We'll go to Lee.
Lee Spencer Motorsport.com. Can you talk a little bit about how your relationship with Chad Johnston has evolved over the last, having 1 year under your belt to work with him?
Yeah, I get along great with Chad. We have similar personalities, kind of quiet, but also have a funny personality. And getting to spend all of last year with him, and then kind of one full off season together has been good. Last year, first half of last year, him and Phil, my engineer, were just, I think, trying to kind of fill me out and learn me a little bit and learn my communication, how, it may be different than other drivers they've been with. And so I think that's why we started the year off slow last season. And then, having that full year and all that and getting our cars better throughout the year has really, helped for this season. So, I know that, they can kind of look at notes that they had from the second half of last season and take them to the tracks where we had ran bad last year and be a lot better this time around.
We'll stay over to your right, Kyle, and then we'll come up front.
Robbie Mays, MRN. Kyle, after Sunday, we conclude the West Coast swing, head back east to Martinsville Speedway next weekend. You've had some good success there. You've had some struggles there as well. Talk about your mindset going into Martinsville next week.
Yeah, Martinsville is it's definitely my worst racetrack, probably my least favorite racetrack. But we did have a good run there last year, finished third and maybe just outside the top 10 the second time we were there. So a lot better than I've ran there in years before. So I'm actually excited to get to Martinsville. I feel like I've become a better short flat track racer. I think I maybe understand kind of what I need throughout practice to help me in the race a little bit better than I had in the past. So just gotta wait and see. We gotta get through this week. Hopefully get another solid run, hopefully a win, and then go on to Martinsville and just be mistake free.
We'll come back up front here.
Kay Presto, Cars and Competition. You're doing very well this year, Kyle, but tell us about the difficulty of adapting to stage racing.
Yeah, I mean it's not difficult to adapt to. I mean the race lengths are still the same distance. We just kind of have a set caution period, so it honestly probably makes the race easier to run because you can break it up. I feel like the racing's been more intense at the end of the stages, especially I guess last week the second stage was the only one that to me wasn't that intense from my seat towards the end of it, but every other stage has been pretty intense. So I've liked the stage racing a lot. I haven't seen much of the fan opinion on it, but talking to all the other drivers and my opinion on it is it's been a great change to our sport, and happy that they've done it.
How about the passing? Does it make it more difficult or easier?
The stages make it
Stages,
passing?
yeah.
Oh, I don't
Passing.
know. I don't know.
No?
Passing's still tough. I don't think stage racing makes passing any easier or difficult, but we've got less downforce on the cars this year, and I think that helps passing a little bit. Thankfully for us, we've been up front for most of these races and haven't had to worry about passing a whole lot of cars, but yeah, it's been fun.
We'll go all the way in the back.
J.R. Barr, California Life. Kyle, just kind of curious, with the success you're having this year, will that kind of curtail some of your dirt track racing? And specifically, will you try to visit the Knoxville Nationals again this year?
Yeah, I watched Race Hub last week, and I know Chad Johnston, in one of his interviews, said I was more focused this year, and Wally said, yeah, he's not running as many sprint car races this year. I'm still running as many sprint car races as I ran last year. I'm racing in less than a week now in Placerville, so it'd be cool to go to the World Outlaw races, being the Cup Series point leader. But yeah, I love racing sprint cars, and I'm allowed to run 25 a year, so I get 25 in. And yeah, so yeah, I won't be able to run Knoxville Nationals this year. Our schedule worked out perfect last year. I could run almost all of Ohio Speed Week and all of Knoxville Nationals, but this year all I'll probably be able to do is Oskaloosa on whatever day of the week that is, and then I could run a prelim night of Knoxville Nationals, but I definitely wouldn't be able to run Saturday.
I'll come over here to the left.
Yeah, hi, Richard Marcella, Entertainment Sports Today. Mr. Agajani, it's nice to see you again, my friend. Mr. Larson, we got this track out there, the surface, people seem to love it. What is your feelings about it?
Fontana.
Fontana.
Yeah, it's always a lot of fun to go to a wore out surface. Fontana is one of my favorite because there's so many different lanes to choose from, and the seams are tricky. Yeah, it's a super wide racetrack, and you can run anywhere from the bottom to the top. So you got to be conservative on your tires, and be patient up against the wall, but also aggressive. So yeah, it's a intense racetrack. The race has always felt fairly long because it's so demanding. But yeah, I wish there's more racetracks like this.
We'll go to Wolfgang. He's bringing a mic.
Kyle, I have a technical question. Maybe you can give me some explanation for that. What I know, the aero package in any race car is different under very hot conditions like last week in Phoenix, cooler conditions like here. Can you give some more explanation as you have to work on a new setup or aero package when the weather is cooler or hotter?
Well, I mean, Phoenix. All right, so Phoenix is like it's been repaved not too long ago. So even though it was hotter last week, it still has 100 times more grip than this place does when it'd be 0 degrees outside. So, and that's a mile racetrack versus a 2-mile racetrack. The setups are just polar opposite, different. So, I don't listen. I drive the car. I hold the steering wheel and press the gas and brake. So I don't worry about setups. But if I had to imagine, I would say the setups are way different.
We'll go to Lee.
LeeSpencerMotorsport.com. We all know your passion for open wheel racing, but if it really starts getting to the point where the championship looks like something that could be a possibility, do you think that Chip might, change that 25 race stipulation?
No, because all my dirt racing's pretty much done before the chase start or the playoffs start anyways. Midweek racing kind of happens up to Knoxville Nationals, and then the midweek racing kind of goes away. So I don't think there's no races I can run during the playoffs. But as soon as the season's done, I'll be at Turkey Night. Huh? No, I mean, I don't think the World of Outlaws would have planned it that way. They just don't have any midweek races. No, like I said, there's no midweek races really to catch throughout the Midwest or anything. Yeah, it's all kind of done. There's a lot of midweek racing in June and July, and so that's probably when I get most of my racing in.
We'll go to Kelly.
KellyCrandallRacer.com. Kyle, being the point leader and running well, Jamie's running well. It said, I think the statistic was last week that you're the first Ganassi driver since Sterling Marlin in 2002 to lead the points at this point in the season. And there was a lot of guys from Ganassi who were really pumped up about that, it seemed like, on social media. Is there such thing as momentum right now? You said you and Jamie are having fun and running well is great, but from a team perspective and the guys at the shop who are there grinding it out, is there such thing as momentum for them?
Oh, for sure. Momentum's huge in our sport especially, but every sport. Yeah, that's a really cool to be the only other Ganassi driver to be leading the points. I've never got to meet Sterling, but from the stories Jamie's told me, he's a character. So yeah, just I haven't been to the shop because I've been out west the whole swing here, but looking forward to getting back there and seeing all the guys and gals that are working on the cars and thanking them for all their hard work. I'm sure they've listened to all my interviews and stuff, and I try to make it a point to thank them in those. But yeah, momentum's big, and I just hope we can carry the momentum.
All right, final question from Holly.
Thank you. Kyle, could you just talk about, a lot of you young drivers are really challenging, up top in the standings right now so much, there's not a whole let's get into the season and see where everyone is. Right off the bat, you've got you and Ryan Blaney and Chase Elliott. If you could just talk about that.
Yeah, it's really cool to see kind of where the sport's at right now. There's us three that you just named: Austin, Eric Jones, Suarez, Chris Buescher. There's a lot of young I mean, Joey Logano's only a couple years older than I am, so it's really cool to see kind of the future of the sport and them all running up front. So I'm sure NASCAR is really happy about that, and it's fun to race with all of them on the racetrack because I feel like we've all gotten a little bit more added aggression and excitement. So yeah, and then personality-wise, the young guys are all pretty fun. Blaney is always on some sort of social media doing PR stuff for NASCAR, which is funny to watch. Austin, is a fiery guy and really good for the sport. And then, Chase and myself are kind of more laid back, I feel like. So, yeah, it's cool to see. And, Joey likes to fight. So, yeah, we're in a great spot.
All right, Kyle. Well, thanks for joining us this afternoon, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks.